Recently, we hit a milestone of sorts here on Dig Drive DIY. I'm grateful for it, and I've got over 50,000 of you now to thank. So in an effort to do that, I thought I'd get a little more personal in this video. Tell a bit more of my story. Maybe I can give you some insight as to why someone like me would choose to film themselves and put it out there for the entire world to see. Because truth be told, I have always been this way.
Dig Drive DIY.
Is Neil Koch's first Fun with Films. Today I will take you for a stroll around the house and a cat's view of how he would run and play around this Koch house. Let's take a look.
Right here, I'm about the same age as my daughters are now.
Stroll around our house.
The family video camera in the 80s was a big investment. It was meant for documenting life's big events and preserving memories.
Well, sometimes when we're feeling crazy, we just hit a switch, turn the house upside down, and just walk on our ceilings. Really fun. Okay, this is a memo for me. Put this in fast forward.
But when we got a hold of it, my brothers and I made skits and silly videos of all sorts.
Oh, that was my first edition of a stroll around the house. I don't know if that was very funny or not. Okay, now I'm gonna do Cat's Eye View. This is another rendition of, this is my third rendition of Cat's Eye View. My second one, we watched it was pretty good, but we keep getting better ideas, so I guess here's another one.
I felt like I was being innovative. There was no YouTube, no internet, so there was no real influence other than just what was on TV. So I just know now that I was born with some internal drive to entertain people and a compulsion to create. Because before Mom and Dad just willingly let me play with the expensive video camera,
My best film yet is A Cat's Eye View, and that one's, ever so popular,
there was art.
Drawing I'm working on. And it's a perfect John Deere.
Yep, this is the same unfinished John Deere that you just saw from 34 years prior. I guess I have a long history of unfinished projects. I have loved to draw for as long as I can remember. And if you're a regular viewer here, then you shouldn't be surprised by my favorite subject matter of the day. Pencil drawings were my favorite, but I experimented with everything. I even did some oil paintings, and as I got older and got better at them, I'd give a lot of them away. Happy little trees. Those are painted in the style of Bob Ross trees. I used to watch a lot of Bob Ross. He used a fan brush on those. I knew I had a knack for it, and people always told me that I should do something with art as a career. The problem, though, nobody could ever tell me exactly what that something was. This was a set design for a play from like 25 years ago. In the 90s, it wasn't as easy to monetize this stuff like it is today. And the older I got, the less I would find time for it. Couldn't bring myself to throw these away, but I don't know, I think they're past their prime. So creating art remained just a hobby that would eventually end up in an attic or at the bottom of a desk drawer. And as I look back at it now, it was probably a waste of talent. But by the time I was out of school, I found new interests. That urge to entertain and compulsion for creativity was distracted by work. Hey, you gotta earn a living. Thankfully though, every job I've had was always something that held my interest. I was content and I enjoyed what I was doing, so I never felt like I was being stifled or kept from being creative. There was no sense of me missing anything. Matter of fact, I was building up a nice little skill set, all while staying very busy. But yet the creative desire was still smoldering. I just didn't recognize it. How do I know?
Neil, do you see this?
What? Holy moly. This is the new Snowmobile. Because I was the dorky friend or relative who brought a video camera with me to anything I thought was interesting. I kept the camera rolling through my 20s and 30s, documenting a lot of fun times with friends and important family memories too. I didn't want to miss anything, even though I didn't know what to do with all those tapes. There was just really no outlet for this stuff. But one of these days, I thought I'd learn how to edit and then I'd make some sweet videos, because we were doing stuff 20 years ago that would have been such good content. That creative ember in me was glowing a little bit, it just hadn't taken off yet. All I know is I was kind of full of regret for having tons of great footage that was just laying in a box in the closet, but you can't beat yourself up over that kind of stuff.
Good work, Einstein! Get the camera back to it. He's got his turn signal on. We know he's going out. Watch out! No brakes, huh? Why'd you keep going? You see your face, Neil.
That's the best yet.
You should have seen his face.
Hey, there's no brakes.
Life gets busy, you get married, and you start a family.
What do you think, Ella? You gonna eat a little bit? Gonna eat a little bit more?
Daddy's feeding Eva.
Hey, I got something to tell you.
And so being creative was the furthest thing from my mind. You just work through the daily routines of life and you do your best to be present. But quickly enough, those little twin girls got to an age where I started to see myself staring back at me. And like so many other children, these two little girls instinctively had a drive to be creative.
So are these treasures that you found at Laura's barn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you making some art?
A tail, a chair, a sewing machine,
Oh,
a
that's
lamp.
a light.
There's a little hat.
They wanted to color and draw and build and make things. Now with them, I found myself engaged in the process of making art again. I tried to encourage them by saying how much I was just like them when I was their age, even though I had nothing to show for it that wasn't less than 25 years old. I hadn't been fanning that flame in many, many
Oh,
years.
look, this is 1986.
How old are you?
10.
Did you draw that?
Yeah. This is Shakespeare's Globe Theater in 1992.
No, you.
So I would have been about 16.
No, you did not draw that.
Give us some lessons.
Today we're going to show you how to make a vase full of fake flowers and twigs.
Then the real inspiration came one day in December of 2018. I got home from work and they were eager to show me a video they had made with their mom. They wanted to know if I could upload it to YouTube so they could start a crafting channel. Now bear in mind, this was a full year before I started seriously making videos for Dig Drive DIY. So I proudly uploaded those first videos for them, and at the same time though, I was envious. They had found an outlet for their creativity already. A platform where they could share and perform. Well, guess what? That spark inside me had finally been reignited. I was inspired by my daughters to get creative and see if I could do what I'd always wanted to learn to do with video. So exactly 1 year after their first upload, I made my debut video to introduce and start a channel idea. But I had no idea what I was doing.
Hey, how's it going, YouTube friends? How's it going there, YouTube? My name is Neil. Hey, YouTubers. My name is Neil. This isn't my first YouTube video, but it's the first one where I'm talking and narrating to the camera, like you see so many YouTube guys do.
That was just over 100 videos ago now on what I call Dig Drive DIY, and well, you can go back and watch the rest of that story.
For example, you got a log that's 3 and 4 foot in diameter. You chop that into firewood with. Art can be the effort of making the project, not how perfect the project is. The art is you doing it. The art is that you're trying to do something creative and that you're trying to get something that's inside of you out. It's not how accurate it is. Some of the greatest artists in the world didn't make things look real. It was their expression of what they saw or what they felt. So it doesn't have to be accurate. It doesn't have to be a replica. Anybody can take a picture. The art is you transferring it from here onto here. That's the art. So don't ever worry about how accurate it is. Okay, don't worry about making it perfect. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. That's a quote.
So of course, when I first started making videos, I was watching a lot of YouTube too, and I found all types of channels to enjoy. Tractor Time with Tim, Captain Kleeman, Dirt Perfect, Matt's Off-Road Recovery, Hometown Acres. Those all had elements of what I wanted my channel to be. Plus, I admired some big guys too, like Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon. They were just great filmmakers. I enjoyed watching all those channels first, but now as a hopeful content creator myself, I was a student as well as a fan. And who would have guessed that in the next 2 years, I would get the chance to meet and hang out with some of those favorites. It's just hard to believe the journey and the experiences that we've had so far because of it all. Making these videos can be a lot of work, but the ability to exercise that inner drive to be creative has honestly caused me to rethink everything about myself, because when I see it through the eyes of my girls, I know I should have done something about it sooner. I hope they choose to do something about it. But I'm trying to make up for lost time. All this video stuff has allowed me to do something with my God-given strengths. The experiences have been incredible, and the reward and fulfillment to let myself be creative is immeasurable. It does something for my soul. I know, I'm getting sappy. I can imagine all my buddies are rolling their eyes about right now. Oh well though, because what I've learned from it all is that if you're passionate about something, if you have a talent or a natural gift, then you kind of have an obligation to yourself and to others to exercise it. It's going to nag at you if you don't. And well, life is short, so what the heck? Plus, you might be amazed at what opportunities and experiences could still be ahead of you if you just go for it. Yeah, we're here for real. I'll be sure to have more about this great experience in Southwest Utah in the coming weeks, so please stay tuned. I really appreciate all the great support from the subscribers and viewers of this channel. None of this would be quite as rewarding without folks to share it with. Now, there's obviously too many of you to list, but I hope you know who you are. And even more importantly, I want to give special recognition to those in my life that have always offered support and encouragement, or have at least put up with me sticking a camera in your face over all these years. I'm just sorry that this isn't everyone either.
Yeah. Is that going to make the movie?
It might.
I'm sure you'll find a way.
I got a lot of video of air. Check. Now it's working. Are you an Uber driver now?
Yes. Hello, YouTube. Howdy.
No shortage of food so far on this vacation. But for some of you, just saying thank you really will never truly be enough.
Turn it off. I'm supposed to get a stupid thing. Turn it off.
That's awesome. Very nice. I like it.
I'm stealing my
Good job. Ooh, this one's got some big, huge tires.
Well, like Christmas.